The other thing about leadership and trying to excel in your different fields, you have to forego certain privileges. In the month of Ramadan,
Oh, yeah.
and some of you guys who are watching, you probably give talks and you deliver lectures and perhaps you recite Quran during the month of Ramadan. You know that you can't drink cold water, you can't have that when you break your fast. You know that you can't
Oh, yeah.
eat
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much, like where you're going to be you're not going to be as sharp
Yeah.
when you're fulfilling those responsibilities. And again, when it comes to the mentality, if you're not ready to do that, then don't expect to retain that level of leadership and that level of respect, because you're not going to care about yourself if
No.
you don't make those sacrifices.
Yeah, and when it comes to leadership positions, it's about, like you mentioned earlier, the leadership positions, it requires more and more sacrifice. The higher you go up, the more sacrifice and responsibilities. It's not about power. It's about responsibility.
Yeah.
The more the higher up you go, the more responsibility you have, and definitely the more you have to sacrifice to get to that place.
Yeah.
So as you were explaining, when it comes to us leading the Taraweeh, for example, you know, you've gone through a day of fasting. It's difficult, and you get to a point where you finally open your fast, you finally eat food, but you can't fill yourself up like everyone else. Everyone else has that luxury.
Yeah.
We don't have that luxury. Why?
Yeah.
Because you know that in another hour
Yeah.
or another hour and a half, I have to lead the whole community in night prayer for an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. So that's why, I can't eat too much. I can only eat enough, so I have enough energy to lead, and I can't overeat. And these are the sacrifices. And why? Because we respect the position of leadership. If we didn't respect that position of leadership, then we would just eat whatever we want, as much as we want, and the Taraweeh, the night prayers, would definitely be compromised. But that's it. And also then you can't demand that respect from the community, because you're not respecting your own position. So you're not respecting yourself, you're not respecting your own position. So how do you expect everyone else to give you the respect of a leader when even you are not doing that?
Another point I wanted to mention on this issue of leadership was that a lot of people, they ask this question that, like, should you seek leadership? And of course, we look at our Islamic history, and that wasn't the norm, especially for the pious predecessors. They wouldn't seek out leadership. But why? Because of the responsibilities that comes because of it. It wasn't because of the power. If they wanted the power, then like people would be running after them to accept it, and they wouldn't accept it. It was because of the responsibilities that it was necessary. Now the situation is different. Now the situation is there's so few people who are capable of that position that, like, you're in a position that, like, if you feel that you have the ability to do it, if you feel you're sincere, and of course that's it's a difficult path to tread. I think is that the phrase that we use.
Yeah.
It's something difficult to balance.
Yeah.
Okay, your sincerity and, like, trying to balance it. What are the reasons that you're doing it? Are you doing it for power, or is it actually the responsibility that you
also your ego comes into that as well.
ego? I mean, it's like we're human beings.
Yeah,
like,
there has to be balance. You're not always going to perhaps have a healthy ego about it, especially when you do start getting the taste of that power, because it is there's power in those positions.
Yeah.
But yes, like I said, it should be about, okay, if I am in a position of leadership, it's more about responsibility. It's all about the sacrifice. The reason you have power is because of that sacrifice. It's because you need that in order to influence, in order to do the things that are necessary.
Yeah, exactly. And I was saying that if you feel that you're in that position, that you can fulfill those duties and you are a good candidate for that position, then we're living in a time that you need to step forward and make your case and fulfill those duties.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the world is filled of people who are incompetent and who just don't have the best intentions at heart.
Yeah.
So it's either that or, like, again, it's not about you. It's about the community. It's about the greater good, as you usually put.
But it is. It's not about what you want.
Yeah.
So if you are, like you explained, if you are a person that feels they can do a better job politically than what is currently available, or your intentions would be more sincere, or you have some ability that the world can benefit from, then it's not about what you want. It's about your responsibility to the world, essentially. At first your family and then your community, but the world, if you extrapolate that. And that's what it is, this idea of, there's people have all sorts of different talents and abilities, and in a day and age where attention is everything, when you kind of have to put yourself out on social media, a lot of people don't want to, because obviously they value their privacy, and I completely understand that. But really think about that, because now it's really about that responsibility. You have something. Are you going to spend the rest of your life keeping that to yourself? That was the situation with ourselves. I would rather that we not put ourselves out there. Personally, I would rather that I would not put myself out there on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. That I would live a life where, yes, I have my family and I'm happy and my finances are
we're
sorted.
fine where we are, and
Exactly.
we're making change on the ground.
We're
We're active. It's not like we're in the background. I know we're active in our communities in Waterford, and myself in Dublin. Like we're active. But it's a different situation when you're putting your face out, you're online. It's a different situation.
Your privacy is gone.
Exactly.
And it's not just about yourself there as well, your family. You're going to be scrutinized for everything you put out there forever. And that's the thing for myself as well. Like, we don't need to do this. We don't have to do this. But it's as in when it comes to like our personal goals or everything, when it comes to finances and anything like that, we don't have to do this with regards to that. But we realized that when it comes to overall responsibility and putting out there our abilities and what we believe God has given us that is different or perhaps superior to others and others don't have, that it would really be a waste of such an ability and talent if we're not putting ourselves out there.